Hi guys, welcome to today's Qgis tutorial lesson 16. In this video, we will learn how to join tables in QGIS and also use the Refactor fields tool effectively. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so that you can get a notification when I upload the next lesson. If you're new to my channel, you can follow all my previous lessons from the links in the descriptions below. Let's get started. So in this exercise, we're going to require a shapefile and any Excel file that is available. So for this exercise, I've actually downloaded an Excel file containing population and internet users statistics in Africa from the Humanitarian Data Exchange, and I've also downloaded a shapefile for the African continent containing just the names of the different African continent and also some little bit of information about that content. So let's go to QGIS and see how we can join these two kinds of layers. So we'll open our QGIS and we'll start a new project, new blank project. So the first kind of layer that we want to bring in is a vector layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer, add vector layer. I'm going to browse for where my vector layer is, the one that I want to use for this exercise, and it is on the desktop, GIS data, then there is a field that I created called a join field, join dataset field. Then I have now my African shapefile here. I'll open and add it to my QGIS. So the next thing I want to do is I want to look at the Excel that I have downloaded. So I'm also going to my folder where I've actually saved the Excel file. So the desktop, GIS folder, data, join data, datasets, Excels, and I'll open an Excel that contains the information that we want to use in this exercise. So this is the Excel file that actually we have downloaded from the Humanitarian Data Exchange, and it contains a very useful information, like say the country name, the population of each country as of 2018, the internet use in 2000 December, the internet use in 31st 2017, the percentage of penetration to the population. Then there is the internet growth between 2000 and 2017. Then there is the Facebook subscribers as of December 2017 in the different African countries, and that is just part of the information that we have. So we have the different African countries here in this column. All the African countries are here. So we are also going to check on our vector layer here. So we're going to open the attribute table to see just what information it contains, and you can see it has the names of the African countries, the ISO 3, ISO 2 country, the English name of the country, the French name, the Spanish name, the local name, the FAO name, and many more information, including the sovereignty, the continent, and all that. And then it has the square kilometers. And it actually, what we want to do in this exercise, we want to bring this information here all this information here about internet usage and join it to this information. So the first thing we need to do is we need to format our Excel. You can see our Excel has so many information, like for example there is some percentages here, so you can actually format it first by removing these percentage symbols and all that, and if they have commas you can actually remove the commas that separate maybe say thousands and all that. So after doing that, I have already done one, so I'm just going to open that one that I've already done. So I've already actually cleaned up my data, but still the same data, but now you can see now I have removed the commas and all that, and there's only one column here that has the percentage, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to be using it. So I have also even shortened I have also even shortened the headings of all these information. Like for example, this is the internet usage, no, IU underscore 2000 and then IU underscore 2017. This represents the internet usage in 2000 and the internet usage in 2017. Then this is the percentage penetration. Then this is the growth penetration. Then this is the FB, which is Facebook user as of 2017 and all that. Then the population is POP of 2018. So let's now see how we can now join this information into our QGIS. One thing you should do is you should make sure that you can actually make sure that all this, before you actually load it into QGIS, it is actually integers. But then that's not a problem. I'll show you how to solve that problem, that when we reach into the software. So I'm just going to close this. I'll not save anything, so I've already formatted it. So the first thing you do is you can load it into QGIS by just simply pulling it from the folder and dropping it into your layers panel. So you can see now our layer has already been added into our layers panel. So when I open the attribute table now of these, I will see now all my information is here. But this is just an Excel file. So we want to join this Excel file with these African data. We want to join it so that we have all this information coming into this layer. So what we will do is we're going to right click on the layer that we want the information to come to, which is Africa. Then we're going to go to properties. Then under properties, we are going to now look for joins. So we're going to select joins. Then we are going to add now the file that we're going to be joining. So we click on the green plus button here. And because you have already loaded the African data here, it already selects it here. But if you had other data, you have to click on the drop down to select the kind of data that you want to use. Now, what is my join field? What field has the common characteristic, or what is common between the two layers? So let's just open the attribute table and understand which is common between the two. So you can see it has actually so many columns. But what is common here is there is an attribute called name, which has the name of all African countries. So we want to join these African countries, this column here, with, well, let's open the attribute table of this, with the country name. You can see they are similar. So if, for example, this is Namibia, all the Namibian data here will be pulled to, all the Namibian data here will be pulled to, let's see if I have Namibia here, and I do, will be pulled to this column here. So you should make sure that you identify one attribute that you're going to be using as the join field. So I'm going to deselect it here because I had selected it. So I'm going to now do it again. right click, go to properties, then select join, then select the green button here, and then what is the join field? The join field, if you can remember, is the country name. The target field, which is within this African shapefile, is the name, right? Then there are so many things you can do here. You can just click on OK, it will have joined that. But then I want to have a custom field name. You can see this is the custom field name underscore dash, so it will be underscore, maybe say the internet usage and all that. This is quite a long topic, so I'm going to just customize it. I'm just going to make sure that this is Africa underscore and just leave it at Africa underscore. Then I say OK, and it has joined the layer to my shapefile. So I'm going to click on apply and then OK. And then now when I open the attribute table here, I will see, if I just scroll like this, I will see, you can see now we have a new column here called African Population 2018, Africa Internet Usage 2000, Africa Internet Usage 2017, Africa Penetration of Internet, Africa, and all that, Facebook users. And you can see all the information that was in my Excel initially now is in the African shapefile. So what we can do is we can just now save a new layer, right click, save feature as, into browse, then I'm going to save it on my data folder, join folder. So I'm going to save it as Africa underscore joined with Excel. Then I'm just going to say OK, and I now have a permanent layer that has all the information that we wanted to join with. So you can see I have all the required information. So that is how you join, you actually join a table or any Excel with a layer in QGIS. So I'm just going to remove this layer and also remove the African initial layer. So I have now my joined layer. Now that we have learned how to join this Excel with the African data, the next thing you want to do is you just want to see how we can symbolize our information here. So I'll open the attribute table. Now I want to symbolize my information using now the internet, maybe say the internet usage or African population. Let's just use the percentage. Let's try to use the percentage of internet growth. So what I will do, I'll go right click, go to properties, and then I'll go to Symbology now. In our previous exercises, we had actually learned how to use the graduated symbol to symbolize our information. So we are going to select, instead of single symbol, I'm going to select graduated. Then the value here has to be an integer. So I'm going to select this, and when I select this, I'll notice that all my other information that I had joined in this layer are not visible. So let me just go and see if there is a problem with the information. So I'll right click, go to attribute table, and try to just observe what is happening to my data. Actually my data is here, but there is a big problem. You can see if I hover around here, African population is a string. Look at this, square kilometers is a real number, is an integer. The EU is an integer which is actually visible. But when I go to Africa internet usage, you see it's a string, and you will see that, and you will notice that this is a string, text string. These are text string. So these are text string. So actually, when we imported our Excel into these, we actually did not make sure that they were actually numbers or integers, but rather they were just text data in. So how do we now solve this problem of having to deal with this? Because we are supposed to now change all these into integers. It is very, very, very simple. We'll go to our processing toolbox. Just close the layer, then go to processing toolbox, then select toolbox. Then here you can actually search for the refactor fields, or you can just search for refactor fields here, or you can just come to here, vector tables, select vector tables, then we'll scroll down and you will see there is a tool here called the refactor fields. So I'm going to double click on the refactor fields, and you can see now it has all my headers, and you can see the information. We all have this information here, so I'll just look at what I want to change. So you can see all these are integers. This is an integer, these are text string. So I'm just going to scroll down to look for my information that I had, and let's start from this one here, which is the African population. So instead of a text string, I will change it to a whole number. And also Africa internet usage, I'll change it to a whole number. Africa internet usage at 2017, I'll change it to whole number. So you can actually change all these to whole numbers so that they are visible. You can see they're all text strings, then you can change them to whole numbers. And for example, if you have a decimal here, like for example these might have a decimal. No, this one doesn't have a decimal. I'll say it's whole number. But this one, internet growth, might have a decimal, so I can say decimal number. Then the precision, I can say I want to 1 decimal place. Then now we can also do an edit here. If you don't like how you have written this, you can just change this to internet usage. Internet usage, this is 2000. This is internet usage 2017. This is the penetration percentage. This is internet growth. Percentage. This is Facebook users and all that. So you can also change this to also an integer and leave it at that. So this is actually where you do your customization of all this. You can even change the name, you can even change the size, the length of the string. If you don't want it to be very long, you can just change it. Instead of to 54, which is the default, I just say 10. Then this one also put 20 maybe. So that's how you can actually change anything that is on the top of the column of the attribute list. So after that, they will load these into. So we're going to actually create a temporary file. So I'm going to click on run. After I've made sure that I've actually made all the changes that I wanted, I just click on run, and it will take a few seconds here, and I have now a new file here called the refactored. And I'll just uncheck this, open the attribute table of the refactored, and now you will see that I have actually, the changes that I actually made are now visible here. And when I just scroll over it, you can see now it has changed to an integer, an integer, an integer, an integer. These are double. It's a text string. It is a decimal number. Then this is an integer, and that is an integer. So right now, if we go and say we want to now go to properties, and now symbolize this using the graduated. When I select these now, you can see now all these that were actually not present previously are now present as integers. So I can say, let me just say penetration percentage, then equal count quantile, and I just want to see what is the penetration between 2000 and 2017. I click on classify first, and it will classify for me my values here. Then I click on apply, okay, and you can now see the kind of internet penetration within Africa between the year 2000 and 2017. And you can run many more kinds of analysis depending on what you want to see, because now all the information that you have you need is now within the attribute table of Africa. So you can actually join many layers using this kind of method, as long as you make sure that you have a common field between the join layer and the layer that you want to join with. If you found this video useful and you want to learn more on QGIS, subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon so that you can get a notification when I upload the next lesson. Otherwise, I'm just happy you're here. See you in the next lesson. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.